Centerburg opens up tournament action tonight from the heart of Ohio, where the Trojans are ready for battle, looking to protect their home court against a pack of hungry Lions. It's live and free boys high school hoops between Columbus International and the Berg, streaming to your smartphone, PC, and TV. Next.
Knox is the third place I have delivered, and hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center, where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
When you're on the go and need a fix, both for your body and your vehicle, stop in at Webb's Marathon and Automotive, celebrating 20 years of service at 164 East Main Street in Centerburg. Family owned and operated with premium products and services. So make it Webb's and get what you need to keep your engines running. Proud sponsor of Trojans basketball.
Division III Sectional Basketball on the way from the heart of Ohio. 8-seeded Centerburg and number 22 Columbus International ready to tango on the hardwood. Live and free coverage begins right now. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the land of the Trojans. My name is Brian Skowronski, joined by Mark Bollinger tonight. And another impressive season for Centerburg, capping off their second consecutive KMAC championship, and a lot ahead of them with teams like Afrocentric having to bow out of the tournament. So there's potential, Mark, for them to host a district if they can get to that point. But, of course, you got to take the road ahead of you, and they got to take care of the business in front of them tonight.
And they've got to take care of Columbus International first. North Union can wait. Whoever's beyond that can wait. Tonight, it's all about Columbus International, and that's going to be the key for Centerburg. They've got to come in here focused, mentally prepared, ready to go, get off to a quick start, leave no doubt. Don't let Columbus International get any confidence early. Try to bury this one and get it, put it away in the first half.
Coach Mar Hefka of the Trojans spoke with our Travis Berardi just a few moments ago. Here's what he had to say about not overlooking tonight's opponent.
Here with Centerburg coach Sean Mar Hefka. Coach, tournament time's finally here. You guys playing at home against a lower seed. Some teams might, overlook games like this, but I know you guys prepared for every game you're about to play.
Absolutely. I think we've been lucky that we get to host this situation, and so we got to take advantage of that. But we've talked to our guys, tournament mindset, one game at a time.
And, the unfortunate news of Afrocentric on the other half of your bracket being knocked out turns into a situation where if you win the night, you go to North Union, you win there, you're going to get a district semifinal. I know you're taking it one game at a time, but can that help as motivation for you guys moving forward?
I believe so. I mean, obviously we have to look at it one game at a time, but we also have to prepare for the big picture. And it was very unfortunate for the Afrocentric team. They're a good team, and they were playing the season, and it's hated to end that way for anybody, so we feel for them. But everybody else is in the same boat, and people always have their comments about any team could get out of COVID. So we've been emphasizing following protocols, washing your hands, keeping your distance, and doing the best we can and making the most of the opportunity. And if it does allow us to, down the road, host another district semis at home, that'd be great. And even so for, looking at the other end, if it goes on and other teams upset, if we could maybe host a sectional or a district final, which would be great. So, but again, it's going to have to see how teams play out.
And finally, what's it going to take to get the win tonight?
Well, I think we've got to keep up our defensive intensity, and we got to control the pace and play the way we want to play. We like to get up and down a little bit, and we've got to play to our standard, and hopefully the boys can keep that focus.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight. Back up to you guys.
Well, one thing for certain that we know Coach Mar Hefka can count on is Carter Jones, his All-Ohioan. He is a monster in the middle, normally dominates the lane, but on the other side, there's some nice length on the interior for Columbus International. They really got to utilize that.
And that's going to be very, very critical for Columbus International. In the games that they have played so far this year, they haven't played a lot, but they've struggled shooting it from the perimeter. But their two leading scorers are 6'4" Samuel Whitaker and 6'6" freshman KJ Jones. Look for those two guys to try to get to the offensive glass, clean up the glass, and get second chance points. That's going to be critical for them to score and try to keep up with Centerburg.
And you mentioned that they have not played that much. Their first game coming at the end of January. Travis Berardi caught up with head coach Michael Bell. He spoke with them about trying to transition, playing in a basketball season when they've only been into it for about a month.
Joined now by Columbus International coach Michael Bell. Coach, first off, you've only had a month of games because of what Columbus, the City League, had done, but what have you done in that month to prepare for a game like this?
Well, like anybody, we did our best to try to prepare. We crunched in some practices. We tried to get some extra hours in to try to get prepared as much as possible with that short limit of time. But we have to work what we're working with. The thing about COVID is everything's uncertain, and so we're dealing with, the only thing that's certain is that everything's uncertain. So, we're working what we can work with, and the kids are doing pretty well, and they're adjusting pretty well.
You guys coming on the road as a lower seed. What is it going to take motivational-wise and, strategy-wise to pull off the upset tonight?
Well, to pull off the upset tonight, we're going to have to play hard, 4 quarters. They have to put together 4 quarters of effort and heart and compete at a high level. And I think if we do that, we'll have a chance to be at the end of this to make some decisions. This is a good team. They have some good players. They shoot well. They have a good guy up in the middle. So, it's a big challenge for us, but we're up for it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Now pause to recognize America with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. We have paid our respects to the red, white, and blue and are now ready for some high school tournament action. No time quite like tournament time, Mark. I mean, it just feels different when you walk into the gym. It's just a thing of beauty.
The energy is in the gymnasium. It's just something that you can't replicate during the regular season, especially for these young men down there. You know, I'm looking at Carter Jones. You know, he's a senior. He understands. There's no tomorrow. If you lose, it's over. His high school career is over. So those seniors, especially at tournament time, that heart's going to be racing a little bit more. See if, you know, how quick he can settle in. But, yeah, definitely tournament time is the best time of year in hoop season.
And for the Centerburg team, they were one and done in the tournament last year. They got a higher seed, got knocked out right away by Johnstown Monroe, who went on to win a district championship as a really good team. But I'm sure for Jones, who's the lone senior on this bunch, he does not want that feeling again.
Well, Carter Jones has had, you know, a great career, great individual honors, two-time KMAC Player of the Year, going for number 3. But I'm sure he would trade that for a deep tournament run.
No question about it. In the road ahead for Centerburg, favorable according to Mark and Travis Brardy when we talked a couple of nights ago. If they can get by tonight, they will have to go on the road. But like we said, potential for them to host in the district, so could be fun moving forward. And here is a look at the Central 1 district in Division 3, and it could be favorable, of course, if they can knock off tonight's game and then move on to North Union, which is the tough test. And, you know, after that, though, it really opens up, Mark.
Well, and the bracket has opened up, you know, at least on paper. You know, with Afrocentric going out with COVID, there goes the number 5 seed. So, you know, if Centerburg can get past tonight, I'm sure both North Union as the 4 seed, Centerburg as the 8 are looking at that district semifinal game as a great opportunity to advance out there to get to the district finals.
Yeah, no question about it. Starting lineups being announced here on the floor. Let's go ahead and show you who they are here tonight. For Centerburg, you already know about Jones. He is a double-double machine, averaging 16 and 10. In the lineup with him, Mick Mead, great assist man, the top distributor on the squad, almost 4 helpers per contest. He scores 7 points a game. Landon Griffith, a great knockdown shooter, next to Alex Johnson and Downton Hall getting the start tonight. And then on the other side, Jawan McClester next to KJ Jones, DeAndre Johnson, just a freshman, along with Jones, the 2 babies. And then Samuel Whitaker, a sophomore in there. Jaden McLester getting the start too, the senior standout for them. So a lot of young athletes are going to be out on the floor for the Lions. We'll see if they can get off to a nice early start here, kind of settle in. And for the Trojans, it could be big for them to get off to a hot start themselves and kind of put some doubt in the mind of these kids.
Absolutely. When, you know, Columbus International is a City League North team out of Columbus. So far, the City League North kind of cellar dwellers have not fared well in tournament play. Whetstone was blasted by Gahanna. I believe it was like 65-19. Columbus East lost by 20 last night to River Valley. This is the same kind of, you know, team as far as where they're at in the standings for the City League North. So confidence is a big thing. If they can come out and hang around, those young players are going to continue to gain confidence, start believing, hey, we can do this. For Centerburg, again, come out, get off to a quick start, plant that seed of doubt, and then just play from there.
Trojans looking for win number 16 on the year. Again, back-to-back KMAC championships for them, so they come into tonight with a lot of momentum on their side. Can they keep it rolling here in tournament action where they have not had great recent success, but with number 0 in the middle, his senior year, you know that obviously they're looking to turn it up a notch here in the heart of Ohio tonight. That'll be Jones jumping off against Jones. KJ versus Carter. And back tap, it's going to be Lions ball, opening possession underway here. Sectional semifinal action. Man-to-man defense being played by the Trojans to start.
Looks like they're really going to try to ISO Jones in the post early. See if they can get him some touches, maybe get some Carter Jones in some foul trouble.
That one off the mark from DeAndre Johnson. Here comes Mead, always looking to push the pace. Jones fumbled it a bit. Trojans taking their time. 45 seconds already gone by here.
they're really shading towards Carter Jones. They're trying to, looks like they're going to try to, take him out of the game with, maybe a secondary helper. But with a move like that, just didn't go for him.
Rebound by KJ Jones. So no points on the opening possession for either squad.
But that's a good look. Carter Jones got the ball on that right block and made a good move to the middle, just didn't finish. But if they can get him those touches in that area all night, I think they're going to be pretty successful.
Some great energy from the Centerburg bench right now, making just about all the noise here in the building. Forces a timeout from Coach Bell and company. Just didn't like what he saw there.
Yeah, get an early timeout. I think they're trying to figure out a little bit as far as how they're going to attack Centerburg. They're playing behind in the post, so if they can continue to isolate KJ Jones, get the ball, swung side to side, get him a post touch and play off of him, I think that's probably going to be their best means to attack. That first perimeter jumper didn't look pretty. They're going to have to get on the offensive glass as well because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to shoot it too well.
Fun matchup that we're going to be in store for all night long. Jones versus Jones, the freshman versus the senior, old head versus the new blood. So far, nobody drawing blood here tonight. Still scoreless, about 90 seconds in.
I'll tell you what, you look at KJ Jones and, 6'6" freshman. Man, if he can mature into that body, put some muscle on, some strength, he could be a force down the road the next couple of years.
Over and back call there against Jawan McClester. So the Trojans force their first turnover of the night. Carter off the bounce, sets it up. The shot on the way. Came up short there from Downton Hall. Floater. Looked like Jones certainly changed that shot from Johnson. Another opportunity, though, here for the Lions. Here's Whitaker. Had it stripped away, but back to him. And that's our first points.
Good job staying with it. They don't look real comfortable on the dribble drive, like they're going to be able to break you down off the bounce. But, staying with it, second chance points. There's your first two of the night.
Landon Griffith off the drive. Looks like he's going to head to the free throw line, and not a place where he's been very often this season. Landon, more of a three-point threat. Just 9 two-point field goals on the year.
Well, the free throw line has not been a friend to the Centerburg Trojans. That was something we talked about a week ago when they played Danville here as a team shooting 49% from the line, and that night they were way under that.
That's just the third made free throw of the season for Landon.
He looked confident on both of those.
Yeah, goes for 2 on that trip, so we're all square. And this is where Centerburg can really start to get comfortable after made shots, getting into the full court pressure. Columbus International handles it this time.
Yeah, they handled it. Looked a little shaky. Looks like there's 1 or 2 primary ball handlers. The rest don't look real comfortable. But there you go again. Offensive rebound. Third chance. 4 points so far for Columbus International. 4 points on second chance.
It's KJ Jones with the putback, his first bucket. Now Meade, great pass. And a tough shot, but it is going to land. Johnson on the free throw line.
You can kind of see some of the youth there with Columbus International. They do a good job in early defense, but as soon as that ball gets reversed, a couple passes are made, they're breaking down pretty quick, leaving tremendous gaps along that baseline, short corner area. If Centerburg can get the ball reversed, it's going to be there all night.
So far, all the Trojans' points coming from the free throw line, though they are 4 for 4 from the stripe to start. And we do love our fans out there tuning in on YouTube and Facebook, so go ahead, drop us a line, send us a comment, and you might make it on tonight's Fan Zone as Jaden McClester makes it from long range. Great pass there. Sets up Meade, open look, and he matches.
Meade with a great look, feet set, caught it ready to pull the trigger, pulled it and buried it.
Trojans off the trap, forcing over and back their second one.
Not sure about that one. I didn't think all three were across, but the official thought they were and gave him the over and back.
Another look at the deep three there by McMead. Having a fantastic season. Over 7 points per game, shooting 41% from long range. Off the hesitation, the setup to Johnson. Gets just murked there in the lane.
Great read off of that. You know, attacking the inside, attacking the paint. You know, saw that defender help over. Nice little bounce off of that. Internationals on that shot and on the other one, you know, that last possession where Centerburg got to go to the free throw line, they did a really good job there of helping and recovering. But then, you know, instead of staying straight up, they came down and fouled. I think they stay straight up. There's probably going to be either a block shot or a missed shot.
That was the first foul against KJ Jones. And there's Carter working the offensive glass, something he does pretty routinely throughout the year. 60 offensive boards on the season heading into tonight.
He just has a great feel for the game. He's able to score at so many different levels and in so many different ways.
Trojans play nice defense there as you see everybody converge around Jones. Tough pass and it's out of play. Coach Marefka, been here a long time, done some nice things for this program, and told me, he said on the record, Carter Jones might be the best he's ever had in terms of being a practice player, a teammate, an overall athlete. Just brings every attribute that you would want to the court.
Well, when your best players are your hardest workers, you usually have really good teams, and you know, sounds like a perfect example for the Centerburg Trojans.
Columbus International looking to cut into that 3-point deficit as they get it to Jones. Nice setup, and he delivers.
Nice little extra pass. Got KJ Jones an easy one.
Griffith on the kick out. That one comes up short from Johnson. And we're going to get a foul about 80 feet away from the hoop on Jones. Here's one more look at that previous offensive possession.
And that was just a situation where Carter Jones didn't help. You know, the first rotation was great. The help side was there, but the helper to that backside block, Carter didn't rotate down quick enough. Gave up the easy one to KJ Jones.
Here comes Carter with the theft, looking to push the pace. And great hustle there. I think DeAndre Johnson was able to throw it off of Houck. He did.
Well, and you're starting to see a little bit of life from the Columbus North bench. They're getting excited. They're getting into it. They're hanging around. You know, we're 5 minutes in. They're only down a point. Starting to get some of that belief that we talked about.
McClester now matched up with Griffith. Looking to do some work off the bounce as he goes off the screen. Now Whitaker going to drive. Hard move. Came up short, but Jones with another follow.
They're going to have to get a body on him. He is just too long up there. I mean, he's got a great wingspan, you know, 6'6" already, and then with those long arms, he's just getting to the glass and getting himself some points.
Carter Jones lets it fly from long range. Came up short. Jones off the leak out. I think we were going to have a big dunk if not for the defense played by Meade.
Yeah, great job by Meade. He saved him a basket there.
And then it turns into 3 points. Levi Houck from downtown.
Big change. Instead of a dunk on the other end, probably you get a 3 from Centerburg and now another turnover.
Jones straight to the cup. Got fouled on the shot attempt by Johnson. Another look. Beautiful skip pass. Open look. And Houck delivers. So here's Carter Jones at the free throw line. 65% on the season, and he's about the best that they have on the team.
Gets that one to go. So far tonight, they've shot it well from the free throw line.
Centerburg going to their bench. Grayson Reynolds, the freshman, checking in. And Jones goes 2 for 2, so the Trojans, they've had problems at the free throw line like you alluded to, but so far, I think about perfect. So makes it a 4-point game. As the Lions get into the forecourt.
Now we'll see what the offense is going to do with Jones out of the game for Columbus International.
We'll see how long that can be the case. As he went all the way into the locker room, I think, for a minute, but he's back over onto the bench and going to get a timeout. Full timeout taken by Michael Bell and company. And I think it's a pretty good start here for the Lions on the road, only trailing by 4. They've got their best player 6 points now. Starting to find his way on the offensive glass, over getting a rest right now. So not too bad for Columbus International, a team that has less than 10 games on the season coming here on the road.
Yeah, it's been a tough start for them. You know, like all the Columbus City schools, they were not allowed to get in there to start play until late in mid-January. They started playing games. I believe it was January 25th was their first night out there. And so for a team, especially a team this young, practice time is critical. And they've been playing about every third day, so they have not had a lot of time to just sit down and practice and work on some things, and that's been kind of evident. Right now, Columbus International, though, has to be looking at the scoreboard saying, hey, we're down 4. Let's just finish out the quarter, keep it close, give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. And if they can continue to do that, you know, they're going to, like I said, they're going to gain confidence, they're going to gain some momentum, and they're going to start believing in themselves. Last minute 50, though, it's going to be really, really big for this Columbus International Lions team.
And there was our first look at the fan zone, and only 2 comments so far, so make sure that you drop us a line. I see that Mark Bramer just did, watching all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina, so we appreciate our fans watching from all over the country. Always cool to see, and keep those comments coming, folks. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, who's your favorite player, and you just might make it on tonight's fan zone.
Centerburg keeps moving the ball. They're going to get something on an open post cut.
Griffith, tough pass, tried to thread the needle. Somehow the ball luckily came back to him. And 3-second violation, I think, is the call. So the Trojans turn it over. Get Colton Martin into the mix.
Trojans do a really nice job bringing that cutter off that high post screen. If they continue to do that tonight, they're going to find themselves wide open because Columbus International's trailing over the top side of that, and it's going to allow them wide open for a layup.
McClester going inside. Here's Whitaker. Now a deep 3 launched and finds its mark from Andre Lubaya.
He got it to go. Didn't look the most confident. Started to chase it down. He thought it was going to be a miss, but he got it to go. Now we're down to 1. 1-point game.
So both Joneses over on the bench right now. We'll see which role players can step up, be a difference maker over the last 35 seconds. As here's a 3 from the corner, and it's good. Jack Gregory.
Gregory sitting in that corner waiting to shoot it. Dribble penetration allowed that helper to slide over. Kicked it to Greg in corner. He buried the open 3.
Columbus International for the last shot potentially if they so choose, but not if you get a look this clean. Johnson knocks it down. Back to a 1-point game.
Centerburg get a good look here. There's about 4 seconds to go.
And they throw it away, so the momentum starting to shift here at the end of the frame. Bucket here for the Lions could be huge for their psyche if they can go into the second with the lead. See what they come up with. Gonna get McClester on the run. He's got the catch, lets it fly, and it's off the mark. So at the end of 1, the Trojans with a slim lead, 18-17.
Stop in at Webb's Marathon and Automotive, celebrating 20 years of service at 164 East Main Street in Centerburg. Family owned and operated with premium products and services. Get what you need to keep your engines running. Proud sponsor of Trojans basketball.
Knox is the third place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
Sectional semifinal action tonight from the heart of Ohio. Centerburg right now on top 18-17 as we open up second quarter action. Brian Skowronski along with Mark Bollinger. And fun first quarter, man. I mean, it went back and forth. It looked like Centerburg was going to create some separation, but a great finish, as was that, to the quarter for the Lions.
Yeah, I think if people were just tuning in now, they'd be a little bit surprised by the score, but Columbus International used the offensive rebounds, second chance points to keep it close early, and then they hit some big threes to hang around, but there was that curl cut for a wide open look for Centerburg.
And off the air ball, Johnny on the spot is actually K.J. Jones coming up with it.
K.J. Jones, offensive rebounding machine so far tonight.
He's got 8 points, the closest to double figures so far as Jones attacks. Got foul on the drive attempt. And our sources down on the floor telling us that North Union in the building, scouting, of course, Mark. So a lot of interest from them in this game.
Peeking around, I'm sure Coach Terrell's here somewhere. Yeah, Brian Terrell, head coach of North Union, had a great season last year. They went undefeated the regular season, lost in the district finals to Johnstown. Turned around this year, another great season, undefeated in league play, number 4 seed, and I'm sure they're excited to get the winner of this one and see what happens in that sectional final.
Jones now with 5 points. Looking for number 6. And he rattles it home.
I think we're going to continue to see Carter Jones attacking the basket, making K.J. Jones defend him in the paint.
And I haven't seen Carter with that much ferocity really off the drive yet this season, where he went in for the big dunk.
He was going to throw that one down. That was a statement drive.
Bit of a wild shot thrown up there from Lubaya. Now the leak out back at the other end. Great up and under. And this kid, Colton Martin, the last time I was over here, the sophomore gave him double figures. He's starting to find his stride here late in the season.
He likes to use that little up and under, use the rim to protect from the shot blockers and finish.
So pushes it out. Biggest lead of the night for the Trojans, 5 points. Great drive and one on the way. Jawan McClester attacking.
Those made three-point shots have opened up the driving lanes for Columbus International. Early we saw Centerburg really packing it in there, helping a lot. Now they're starting to get spread out a little bit. Some gaps are getting created. They attacked the gap and got all the way to the rack that time.
It's amazing what knocking down some long-range shots will do, opening everything up offensively. As Jones chases it down, threw it off of Jones, and it's going to be Centerburg ball.
For guys who are really good off the bounce, they love having shooters with them. For post players that like to work down low, get that ball in the block, short corner area, they love having knockdown shooters. Like you said, it just opens up the entire floor, and that's what it did on that last possession for Columbus International.
From the corner, here comes Meade off the screen from Reynolds.
And International switched it up. They're not putting K.J. Jones on Carter Jones anymore. They went with a smaller player playing behind him in the post, trying to be physical. He catches that deep. He's usually going to finish.
Jones comes over for the block shot, but now they swing it. Open look for Hauk. Came up short, but Jones battling inside, poked that one over to Martin.
Carter Jones was doing work on the offensive glass.
So Columbus International gets a jump shot from KJ. He's in double figures now.
Nice young player. Stretched out a little bit, showed his range, let everybody know he can do more than just offensive rebounds.
And he's listed at 6'6". I think he's got to be a little bit bigger than that. Towering over Jones inside.
And real good job there. He just stayed straight up, didn't foul. but a hustle play by Centerburg. Once again, they get an easy one.
Colton Martin now with 6 points off the bench, creating a spark for the Centerburg offense.
Watching the body language, though, KJ Jones, he subbed out towards the end of the first quarter. He's tired. You can see, young player, hands on his hips. He's wore out a little bit. Look for Centerburg to keep trying to run him in transition. Those rim runs to the front of the rim for Carter Jones could be easy baskets for the Centerburg Trojans.
McClester jump hop into traffic, and he got fouled on the floor. Looks like this one's going to go against Levi Hauk. It's going to be the first against Levi, third team foul overall for Centerburg.
Wouldn't surprise me if they throw the lob in here, try to get the ball back to KJ Jones, trying to get position on that left block.
Carter Jones fronting him right now. And that jump shot no good from Whitaker.
Good box out that time by Carter Jones. Quick transition look.
It was a good look there for Reynolds. Just missed it. And now this one launched from the corner. Came up short, and Reynolds with the board. Athletic play. Lauk end to end. Levi missed it. But Martin, another offensive rebound. Centerburg starting to rack him up.
Centerburg's getting the second chance points, an open look.
Jones back irons it. Now the Lions are going to slow things down just a bit.
Not a lot of movement by the Lions. They're standing around looking to play one-on-one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now everybody coming out. 5 wide here. Just going to let KJ Jones go to work. Dishes it off to Douglas from the corner. Tipped out. Offensive rebound for Whitaker, but taken away by Martin. Boy, what a spark he's delivered.
He has been a spark on both ends for them tonight.
Great Euro step by Levi Hauk. He's got the bucket. He's got 5 points now, and Centerburg on top by 5.
You're starting to see Centerburg maybe stretch it out a little bit here. See if they can get it to double figures maybe by the half. Finish it out, get a stop here, get to the other end and get a basket. Start to put some pressure on International.
KJ off the drive. It's going to be tough to extend out that lead if he's playing like this. Got about half of Columbus International's points.
It's been a one-man wrecking crew so far, that's for sure.
Jones off the curl. Nice hesitation to the cup.
And with the switch defensively, that's where Columbus International is going to be in trouble. They're switching KJ Jones off of Carter Jones. Nobody else out there can guard Carter Jones.
Proved it right there. He's up to 8 points on the night. Lions got to get it across. They just do. But they lose the handle. Into Jones. Gives it up Hauk. A lot of contact. No whistle, but Carter there for the follow. Timeout, Lions.
Good timeout. Coach Bell's starting to feel like it's going to slip away here before the half. Get the timeout, try to stop the momentum.
There's Jones doing board work as he does so well, always averaging over 10 rebounds per game. And I was actually surprised to see that it wasn't higher than that. I've covered some games over here where he's been around 15, 16, 17 rebounds, but always just a menace when he's in that lane.
I think sometimes his stats get a little bit skewed with the games that they've had. Like the other night, we had a Danville game where he only played maybe 14 minutes in the entire game. So, there's some probably games like that where he didn't get a chance to play the minutes and put up the kind of numbers that he could have if he'd have played, an entire game or at least most of it.
In Centerburg tonight, taking Jones' lead as he's got 8 points, but then pretty much outside of that, we see this time and time again for them. They have a pretty significant drop-off in terms of kids putting up big numbers in the scoring column, but they got a lot of kids that also score for a mark. I think about 6 of them average at least 4 points per game, and that's exactly the recipe that they got going on tonight.
And that makes it really hard when you have that kind of balance behind Carter Jones. You never know who's going to step up. They all average, like you said, 4 to 8 points or so. But on given nights, who's it going to be? And it's usually one or two others that step up and get to double figures. That's what makes them so difficult to defend. Columbus International keeps bringing most of their guys up and making it really compact against this Centerburg pressure. If they'd stretch it out a little bit more, create some more space, I think they'd have a little bit better chance to try to break this Centerburg pressure and get something easy. But they just keep sliding those guys farther into the front court or the back court and just making it difficult.
They can go over the top, potential to get some easy ones, but we haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet, and again, another easy look for Columbus International off a baseline out of bounds play.
The freshman Johnson now with 5 points, as that's just a great feed in transition. Johnson with the bucket.
Great look. Again, Columbus International, the help didn't rotate. Centerburg took advantage and said, we'll take the easy one. Centerburg just win the possession right here. Win the possession, get a stop, and get to the other end with a chance to maybe get it to a 10-point lead if they can hit a three.
Instead, it's going to be a foul. Reynolds going to pick up the personal off the drive by McClester.
I'm sure that's what both of these coaches were talking about in the pregame and in the timeouts is one possession at a time. Both ends, get a stop, get a score. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look ahead. Just play that next possession.
And it works out there. Nice cut by Samuel Whitaker. Leads to a wide open bucket in the paint.
Thought he got away with the travel there, but International still comes up with it.
Yeah, they got numbers 2, 5 on 4. Centerburg does a nice job of getting back. Whitaker attacking, though. Back-to-back buckets for him. Trims it back down to a 3-point cushion.
Just like that. Went from 7 to 3 real quick.
Approaching the 1-minute mark here of the opening half. Nice spin inside. Reynolds doing work.
Beautiful spin in the paint. Nice strong finish at the end. Got himself squared up, went up with strength, and got it to go.
It's his first bucket of the evening. Now this one from the hand of Alexander comes up short. Johnson with the board.
Centerburg still trying to push in transition. See if they can get something easy.
Hall got a shot blocked.
And now's a situation we have to know time and possession. This is a special situation. You're under 30 seconds. Doesn't look like International's going to play it out there. You'd think they'd make sure they got the last one. Worst case, go down by 5 or go into halftime down by 5, but little ball screen action.
But an air ball on the shot attempt. So the last shot opportunity here for the Berg, down to 4 seconds off the kick out. 3 ball on the way from Houck, and he delivers at the horn. Big shot. Extends the lead out to 8 points.
You see it time and time again. A team takes a shot too early. The other team gets a defensive rebound, comes down, buries a shot, completely changes the whole complexion going into halftime. Big mistake by Columbus International, shooting it way too soon.
So Centerburg with an 8-point lead heading into the half. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with some first half analysis. Get you ready for quarter number 3. You're watching live and free high school hoops exclusively on the OH.Report.
Knox is the third place I have delivered, and hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
When you're on the go and need a fix, both for your body and your vehicle, stop in at Webb's Marathon and Automotive, celebrating 20 years of service at 164 East Main Street in Centerburg. Family owned and operated with premium products and services. So make it Webb's and get what you need to keep your engines running. Proud sponsor of Trojans basketball.
No paywalls, just live sports, exclusively on the OH.Report. It's halftime here in the heart of Ohio, where Centerburg, with a huge 3 to beat the buzzer, has a 39-31 advantage through 2 quarters of play. And here it is. Big shot right before the horn from Levi Hauk, getting us to where we are, Mark. And you talked about what a game changer that can be, just riding that momentum into the half. So Centerburg, all smiles, of course, when they're running into the locker room. And on the flip side, a little discouraging for the Lions.
Absolutely. Columbus International down 5, had the ball. Make sure you get the last shot. Worst case scenario, you're going in down by 5, and you are feeling great about where you are at in this ball game. Instead, they shoot it with 8 seconds to go. Centerburg gets a defensive rebound, pushes in transition, buries the 3, and if you look over, Centerburg ball coming out to start second half.
Right.
Completely changes the entire complex of the game.
Second chance points have been changing the game as well. We've seen KJ Jones get his. It's been a big difference.
Yeah, Jones did a great job on the offensive glass. As a team, the Lions had 14 second chance points. Jones himself, 10. So that's what we talked about early, cleaning up the glass. They got a couple threes to go, but they also attacked the offensive glass. 14 second chance points has been critical to keep them in the game.
No question about it. They're still hanging around despite how things played out there over the last 10 seconds of the second quarter. Still just an 8-point deficit for the Lions here on the road that are still trying to find their basketball legs. And you can tell, you mentioned Jones in particular. It just seems like these guys aren't 100% in-game shape, but how could you be? They're only about 4 weeks into their season.
4 weeks in, playing a lot of games, not getting a lot of practice time. Coach probably trying to keep their legs fresh for games. You don't get to maybe put them on the line or do any kind of conditioning, because you don't want to burn them out, before that next game is coming up quick. And you can tell. Jones, real nice freshman. I mean, you look at him, he's got the 6'6", 6'7" body. He's long. He looks like a basketball player. Like to see his motor be a little bit more. I mean, a little slow in transition. If you run a little bit harder, make Carter Jones run a little bit more. But he's a freshman. Those are things that he'll learn. Playing hard can almost be considered a skill at times. And that's something that as he gets older and matures, I'm sure the coaches are going to talk to him about, like just learning to play every possession like it's your last one. Don't take possessions off.
Yep, that is certainly what we see from the other Jones, Carter, for Centerburg, who leading them in scoring right now, near double figures. And expect a lot from him in the second half when we get action underway. Only 4 minutes in between now and third quarter action. We'll go ahead and take one more timeout and be back with your second half from the heart of Ohio.
stop in at Webb's Marathon and Automotive, celebrating 20 years of service at 164 East Main Street in Centerburg. Family owned and operated with premium products and services. Get what you need to keep your engines running. Proud sponsor of Trojans basketball.
Knox is the third place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
Just 2 minutes, 15 seconds away from second half action here at Centerburg High School, where right now the Trojans on top of the Lions 39-31, but a ton of live and free action coming up tomorrow, all in the ladies realm, where I am going to be on the call for Mansfield Senior versus the top seed Shelby Whippets. Looking forward to that one. That is the first half of a doubleheader over at Ashland in D2. In Division 3, the Willard Crimson Flash is going to be taking on the Cary Blue Devils. That one tips off at 5:30, as does Seneca East versus the St. Paul Flyers. That a really fun game tomorrow. And then the late competitions at 7:30 are going to see the number 2 Bellevue Redmond against number 10 Sandusky Perkins. In the Division 2 level, Colonel Crawford taking on the Margaretta Polar Bears in the second half of the Division 3 district at Shelby. And then South Central versus Buckeye Central for the right to play for the district crown in Division 4. You can watch all 6 of those games live and free tomorrow on the OH.Report. But Mark, what is that in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? I don't know. Maybe it's just Fan Zone. And there's Kathy Edwards, me and Mama and Papa watching all the way from Florida. So thank you for tuning in. Brandon White cheering on his Trojans, as is Kelly Ramey Mead, also from Florida. So a lot of Floridians enjoying Mr. Mead tonight. Kendra also digging the Trojans. A lot of Trojans fans out there. Jonah Hammond watching from Florida as well. Man, we're not doing it right, Mark. We can check out Ohio basketball from Florida too, right?
We're getting some serious ratings in Florida.
That's what's up. Yeah, lots of love for the Trojans here tonight, as well as from Amber Christine. Brandon enjoying the work of Carter Jones in the paint. And just about 3 miles east of here, how about Don Anderson tuning in? And then Teresa enjoying Carter Jones's play as well. And these first 4 minutes, Mark, are going to be huge for both sides. It's either going to be a blowout, in your opinion, and or a real good competition if the Lions can get some points here early.
Yeah, the first 4 minutes are critical. At the college level, you know, they take the media timeouts every 4 minutes. A lot of coaches refer to those as the 4-minute wars. Win the 4-minute war. This is the same situation. I think Centerburg's either going to just light it up and blow this thing out, or Columbus International is going to stick around. But these first 4 minutes are going to indicate what kind of game we're going to have the rest of the way.
First shot of the third off the mark from Carter Jones, so it'll be Lion basketball. Here comes the sophomore McClester. Now Johnson being defended by Mead.
Centerburg does such a good job of defending on the ball that this stagnant offense by Columbus International is just playing right into their hands.
Though they do draw a blocking foul there against Downton Hall. So Lions with the inbound. They come up top to McClester. And you see Carter Jones just riding KJ all the way out of the lane. Obviously, he's got that big, strong frame. able to push him around a bit.
Well, Carter's block on the sideline and take it out of bounds. Yeah, Carter was doing a real good job getting low and driving him out of there. And then he was also trying to get it to a three-quarter front, almost daring them to go ahead and try to throw that lob over the top. Centerburg sitting there with a bunch of helpers behind it, so it's not a big deal.
Johnson over to the corner and Whitaker.
There's just nothing for International. There's no movement away from the ball. There's no ball screen action, no cuts, a little bit of exchange, and they get picked.
Here's Meade off the theft, coast to coast. 2 points plus one more on the way.
Another good play by Mick Meade, getting it done on the defensive end, creating offense out of his defense.
Leading stealsman on this team, if you will. 37 on the season before tonight. And Mick adds to his point total as well.
Now it's at 11. Another critical possession here for Columbus International.
See if the Lions can come up with a much needed answer right here. McClester being hounded by Hall.
Yeah, Centerburg's picking up the defensive intensity on the ball. They were good early, but they're getting better.
And it is going to be Trojan basketball after Johnson came up with it, had it poked away.
And for Centerburg, it's a lot easier to be confident getting up and getting on somebody, guarding the ball tight when you've got all that help behind you. Centerburg's going to get something easy on the back cut. There it is.
Jones now off the kick out, wide open. Mick Meade just a bit too strong, and the long rebound comes to Whitaker.
Centerburg runs those sets. They're going to be able to get anything they want the rest of the night. Oh, out of bounds.
Jaden McClester, the senior, with a foot over the end line.
It's about the third time we've seen that where they've just caught the ball out of bounds or walked out of bounds and turned it over.
Griffith, hard drive off the kick out Johnson. Tough bucket.
Good strength. They spread them out. KJ Jones got brought out of there a little bit to 8 to 10 feet from the basket, opened up that paint area. They converted.
Balanced scoring for Centerburg here tonight. 7 now for Johnson over his season average, as this one too strong from the hand of Lubaya.
Centerburg cranking up the transition game. Beautiful take right down the middle.
And a timeout taken by Columbus International. They want to fall as they feel it starting to slip away from them. And these first 4 minutes, the 2.5-minute mark, it's been all Centerburg.
Yeah, 7-0 run to start the half. You go back to that last 2 possessions before the half. Missed on one end, go down, bury the 3, and all of a sudden Centerburg's on a 10-0 run.
Keeping it rolling here. 15-point cushion now for the home team, looking to advance to the sectional championship against North Union.
If you're Columbus International coming out of this timeout, you have to score. Whatever their best set is, they need to run it, get the ball to their best players, and get a basket. This is do or die time right now. They need a basket right here.
Jones leads all scorers with a dozen, but KJ has been pretty quiet offensively here of late. He had the big first quarter, kept him in it midway through the second, hasn't done much since, and he just can't establish himself down on the block because Carter Jones is forcing him out.
Yeah, give credit to Carter Jones. He's doing the work early. He's not even letting KJ Jones get to the block area. He's meeting him high in transition, keeping him up in that mid-block area, and Jones hasn't been able to get there, and then when a shot goes up, Centerburg, great job of finding him and getting a body on him and not allowing him to get offensive rebounds.
Looks like the Trojans are going to pick up half-court man-to-man.
And it's all starting with Dalton Hall. He has been all over the ball in this second half.
Great pressure there on McClester, who has to give it up. Now Jaden off the drive, shot short, collected his own miss. Great look on the inside, though, and Jones with the first points of the second half for the Lions.
It wasn't out of a set, but they got something easy for their leading scorer to get it back to 13 to try to hang around.
Now here's Meade. Kick out. Johnson spinning, finds Carter Jones, and the lefty spins it in.
Yeah, KJ Jones can't guard him. He's frustrated, the senior that's been through it, that's been through the wars, knows how to play the game, just stretched him out a little bit. Nice anticipation there by Griffith, just used the wrong hand, used his backside hand instead of that front hand, or he'd had a layup at the other end.
Instead, it's a jump shot for KJ, puts him up at 16 points. Nice feed to the perimeter. Downton missed that one. Going down to the floor to collect it, though, was Johnson. And somehow Centerburg comes out with the ball.
Gotta love hustle plays.
Griffith lets it fly well off the mark, but right into the hands of Johnson. Carter with the follow. And tipped out in the hands of Meade. So we're going to stay at this end. Griffith missed his second three on this possession.
The body language is very telling of Columbus International. They are frustrated and upset. They can't defensive rebound. But they may kind of bail them out there.
This foul's going to go against McMead. 13th foul against Centerburg. And how about a shoe come flying in from the sideline? You don't see that very often.
Alex Johnson, I believe, lost it in that loose ball scrap down there. And yeah, they threw his shoe back into him. Now they're going to get him a sub. But again, see what Columbus International does as the answer. When Centerburg gets the ball back, I'm looking to get the ball on an isolation to Carter Jones. Bring him off of a screen or something. Make KJ Jones guard him right now. KJ Jones doesn't look like he really wants to get out there and try to man up with Carter.
The lob inside to KJ, broken up. Levi Hauk off the leak, and he finishes.
Starting to crank it up, getting it to 16.
Levi now in double figures, joining Jones.
International just doesn't have an offensive identity. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they do well. Makes it really, really hard to be consistent.
There's another look at the nice end-to-end by Levi Hauk. And we're going to get a couple of substitutions here for the Lions, try to mix things up, see if they can't generate some type of a spark here with Terrell Douglas coming in off the bench. You see how far KJ is pushed out, not really his comfort zone.
No, they tried to get him into a high ball screen, but again, he just got pushed out too far, and he's just ineffective in that high post area.
And that's going to be last touch by DeAndre Johnson. He thought that he dribbled it off of a Centerburg player, but the official saw otherwise. So 16-point lead here for the Trojans. They have doubled their advantage since the half. Looking to add to it here as Jones with a nice flash. Gave it up.
Good back cut there, creating space. Get the extra, rotate it, and you have Carter Jones out there wide open. There's a post flash.
Looking to go to work, turns over that right shoulder. Off target. And now Martin. Clean look from the corner, back iron. Labaya, pull-up jumper from the foul line. That's not there. Jones with an acrobatic follow, but that's off line too. And a frenetic pace right now.
Getting a little sloppy out here. But again, both teams playing, like you said, frantic pace, trying to get something easy, but it's just not there. It's just not there. Centerburg, I'll tell you what, I'm so impressed by the way they are guarding on the ball tonight. Their energy has been great, especially in this second half.
Here's KJ with the turn and call for the travel. So everything kind of coming unraveled here in the third for the Lions as we're under 2 minutes to go in the frame. Nice around the back look. Carter Jones couldn't give him the highlight assist.
They're right there. They just can't slam the door shut. Three or something there, just bury it and finish it.
So the door still cracked for the Lions, but they got to find something offensively. Can't get it here. Jones with the defensive board. Now a foul on Lubaya coming through the back that time of Levi Hauk.
The Trojans definitely talked at halftime about the transition game, getting the ball off the defensive glass and getting out in numbers and attacking. They are in attack mode in this second half. A little bit different feel than the first half.
No question about it. They got a little bit more rev in their engine trying to get up and down the floor, trying to turn defense into offense. And when the shots aren't falling like they haven't for the Lions, it's created a lot of opportunities here for Centerburg. And Martin!
Beautiful.
The Euro step fake to the corner. Nice layup. He's got 8.
And what you love to see about it is Carter Jones was sitting there wide open in the corner. He didn't get the ball, but the smile on his face, he loved it.
Now Jones pushes ahead. Nice pass to Wheeler. Well defended. Now Martin, clean look from the corner. Can't deliver with that one. But look at the offensive board work. Seems like all the hustle plays going in favor of the Trojans right now.
Absolutely, and it's just pure energy. The bench is into the game. You know, guys that started the game are on the bench, but they're up and applauding, cheering on their teammates. Just a difference in body language. Again, the body language just tells it all. International, hands on their hips, heads down, waiting on something bad to happen. Centerburg got there. They're having fun right now.
Jones with the cut to the hoop.
And that's a little bit more fun.
20-point lead now for Centerburg as we are approaching fourth quarter action. Just 30 seconds remain here in the third.
It would only be appropriate for Centerburg to get a stop here.
Instead, it looks like Whitaker is going to go to the free throw line.
4-point quarter so far for Columbus International.
And a lot of the credit has to go to the Trojan D.
Absolutely. They have been outstanding pressuring the basketball.
Whitaker well short with the first. And the sophomore misses both, but Johnson with the offensive board. See if the Lions elect to hold for the final shot of the quarter. They will not. Douglas puts it up.
Could be a repeat. Could get a 3 at the buzzer here, just like the second quarter.
This time Hauk gave it up, but Reynolds comes through. Clutch this time. 23-point advantage as we head to the fourth. It's all Trojans, folks.
Stop in at Webb's Marathon and Automotive, celebrating 20 years of service at 164 East Main Street in Centerburg. Family owned and operated with premium products and services. Get what you need to keep your engines running. Proud sponsor of Trojans basketball.
Knox is the third place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
Impressive third quarter by Centerburg has built them a large lead as we enter fourth quarter action. 22-point cushion for the Berg. And you can't ask for much more than the effort that they extinguished there in that third quarter, but they're keeping it rolling here in the fourth as they get an easy bucket in transition from Grayson Reynolds.
Well, they finished the third quarter, ended up outscoring Columbus International 18-4 in the third. based on that good defense, and they picked up right where they left off in the fourth. And here we go again. They have numbers.
You see just everybody running right now for the Trojans and everybody being rewarded. That's Martin. 10 points now and a quick timeout. Just 40 seconds in, taken by Michael Bell.
I don't think Coach is going to have enough timeouts. It's getting away from him quick.
Yeah, at this point, not much you can really tell your team.
Yeah, this is a team that's not built to come back from large deficits. They need to slow it down, get the ball into the post, score on offensive rebounds, and if they're going to depend on the three-point shot to get themselves back into it, I think we all kind of know what their chances are at this point.
Columbus International definitely has not shot the long-range ball well here tonight. As the Trojans now with multiple players in double figures. Jones leading the way with 15.
And we get a high ball screen, but they're not using it. There's nobody there to play off of it. So many times when you run that high flat ball screen, you put your shooters in the corner just to spread the floor and drag those defenders out of there. That way the ball screener can either roll off of it, pick and pop, or can roll to the basket. That time Columbus International ran it, but they had a guy on the block just bringing another defender right to that area. Whew, we're dropping dimes tonight.
That is right. Sick feed right there. Jones on the other end from the pass from Grayson Reynolds, who's been a part of 2 big plays already here in the fourth. And nobody home on that skip pass. So turnover for the Lions, and there's another look. KJ Jones coming over, playing the defense, leaves Carter all alone, and that's just a recipe for disaster, Mark.
That's an easy one. But that goes back to the culture right now that Centerburg has in their basketball program. Sharing the basketball, cheering for each other, being happy for each other when somebody else scores. That's a culture. That's an atmosphere that's been built. Those are the kinds of programs and kind of teams that win championships. They've got a K-MAC championship under their belt. I think they want more.
Carter Jones getting more, filling it up right here for 2. He's got 19. Top scorer in the game now. Wow.
That was a statement.
Crushes the crouton right out of the sky. And Martin tips it out. Nice feed to the corner from Hauk. And we're going to get a loose ball foul. It's going to go against the Trojans, and I believe Reynolds. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm probably going to sound like a broken record. But do you remember when it was 36-31 in the second quarter, and International had the ball, and we thought they were going to hold it and get the last shot, and they didn't?
It's kind of all come apart since then, hasn't it?
It's been downhill quick for the Lions. Centerburg's loving it. They're playing real good basketball tonight. They've been fun to watch.
No question about it. They've been getting up and down the floor, playing aggressive defense. This is the brand of basketball that can give them the most success. So that's a nice drive there by Jawan McClester. Just 6 points, though, in the second half for the Lions.
And again, like you talked about, credit to Centerburg because the job they've done on the ball, in the gaps. One thing I've really seen out of Centerburg that's impressed me tonight is not only are they helping, their helpers are getting over and helping and getting in the gaps, they're getting higher in the gaps. So even if there is a driving lane there, it looks like it's guarded. And so because of that, Columbus International has been really tentative to try to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And with so little motion, not very many cutters tonight, it's made offense really tough, of course, for the Lions.
And at this point, Internationals, they're just trying to get it over with, keep it as close as they can. You're down by almost 30 and you go to a zone and, you're sitting in that pretty lethargically. You're just ready to get on the bus and go home.
Tough to bring the energy late on time in a blowout like this. But a chance to cut into it here a bit for Jones at the line. The freshman having a nice night. 16 points for him.
he's going to be a fun one to watch over the next few years, to see how he develops. See if he can stretch his game out a little bit, work on catching from 8 feet out, catching face in the post, add a couple moves to it, add some strength. But he definitely has the body and the athletic ability that he could be a force in Division III over the next 3 years if he continues to mature and puts in the time and effort.
Here's Johnson to trigger. Wants to get it to Jones. Now it's to come up top.
One thing he's really going to learn, and he probably learned it tonight playing Carter Jones and even some of these smaller, I'll say shorter because they're stronger Centerburg guys, is that when you're in the post, you've got to bend your knees and sit down because that low center of gravity, that is so important, and he's not doing that. Lowest man always wins in the post, and he's 6'7", but he's playing 6'7". He's got to learn to bend his knees and play in a stance. But that he can do. He can go get it.
Yeah, no question about it. Jones tipping it to himself. Previous possession, Whitaker came up with a nice baseline drive bucket. See if International can get some more quality offense here. It's Allen, pretty play. Way too strong, but Whitaker underneath. Back-to-back for him now.
Back-to-back, that stretch to the third quarter was so important for Centerburg, the defensive rebound, and they did. When they went on that big run, they defensive rebounded great out of their possessions, finished possessions. Couple chances here of late, offensive rebounds, some putbacks for Columbus International, but again, overall Centerburg has done a real nice job on the defensive glass in the second half. Struggled early, but they got it going.
They have found their stride here late. And they're going to get Reese Scott into the game. Sophomore checking in for the first time as Gregory appears his night is going to be done at the 4:04 mark. So the future of Centerburg basketball on the floor, but pretty much everybody is. Carter Jones, the only one who's going to be leaving, and I think that's what's so exciting for this team. Yeah, they're going to lose their big gun, but a lot of young kids have gotten into the mix. The junior class is loaded, and then these sophomores, as they get more minutes at the varsity level, they just seem like they keep improving throughout this season.
Absolutely, and the team may look a little differently as far as what they're trying to do offensively next year. They may play a little bit different. I would guess you're going to see them running and pressing a little bit more than maybe they did this year. But I'll tell you what, with the group that they have coming back, I think they're going to be really motivated to try to go get themselves another KMAC title. And I think you're going to see some of these guys that are going to really explode over the spring and summer and come back completely different players, much better. And Centerburg is going to be a tough out next year in the KMAC and in the tournament. They've got a bright future.
There should be an expected drop-off for Fredericktown with all those seniors that they have on the squad. And score update for them, last we looked, they were doubling up Mount Gilead. That's the last regular season game for them. So a win for the Freddies clinches a share of the KMAC championship along with Centerburg, who of course already got their piece. As Houck misses on the drive there.
Well, with a 22-point game, 3 minutes to go, I'm going to talk about it for a second.
Go for it.
Looking ahead now, North Union.
Okay, we can do it.
What a fun game that is going to be. What an outstanding game. Sectional final game against two teams that could very easily, either one of them could very easily go on and win a district championship. Two teams that play very similar style. Both are hard-nosed, tough, gritty, will sit down and guard you kind of teams. Whoever gets a chance to get a ticket to that game, get it, because that is going to be a great one. Two teams that I think are really, really good.
So the Trojans with a win here tonight will head to Richwood to take on the Wildcats, and the winner of that game will host a district semifinal. I think that's what's most exciting for each of them.
Absolutely. Whoever can win that game sets themselves up great to get themselves to that district championship. And then, you district final, doesn't matter if you're the highest seed team, the lowest seed team, you're playing one game with the chance to cut down the net to make it to the Sweet 16.
That's right. All bets are off once you get to that level. And potentially, for each of those teams, you could host a district championship depending on how things shake out on the bottom half of the bracket too. So, a lot to look forward to for Centerburg, who, at least for tonight, taking care of business.
They've taken care of business. They did what they needed to do. They a little bit struggle early with the offensive rebounding for Columbus International, but then into the second quarter, into that third quarter, they settled in, found their identity. They were themselves. That third quarter, they were who they are. You know, a lot of times teams try to do things that they can't do. You always talk about that. You know, coaches talk about that. We are who we are. Centerburg sitting down, guarding, great pressure on the ball. That's who they are, and that's what opened that lead up quickly in the third.
Columbus International has been having a really solid fourth quarter here, at least attacking off the bounce, getting into the lane. Not quitting here on the road.
And for them, you know, congratulations on the fact that, you know, these kids did a really good job of fighting hard, taking care of what they needed to do off the court to allow themselves to actually just be able to play this season. You know, and they finally, like we said, they got started late. January 15th, I think, was their first day of practice. End of January, their first game. So they've played, you know, as many games as they could during this time. Give credit to them. They came out. They didn't come in here and say, oh, we're the lowest seeded team. We don't have a chance. You know, just roll over and give it to Centerburg. They made them earn it. So give all the credit in the world to Columbus International. Really, really proud of the effort that they gave tonight, and look for good things, you know, from them in the future as well, because they're young. They've got some good young players.
Trojans just withering away the clock here in the fourth, and got to start thinking about who our player of the game is going to be, Mark. And go ahead and weigh in the comments section on Facebook and YouTube and let us know, who do you think is worthy of being tonight's player of the game? You know, Carter Jones always stands out. He's the leading scorer, leading rebounder for them here tonight. I love what Colton Martin did coming off the bench. I believe he ended up with 13 points, and he just provided a spark and an energy for him in the second quarter that helped them, spark a little bit of a lead. So those would be my top two candidates.
I would agree. There's so many choices, you know, out there for Centerburg. I mean, you could pretty much pick anybody that played tonight because of the defensive effort. You know, so many times we just look at the scoring and who scored and this, that, but, you know, on the defensive end, those guys that, you know, maybe only scored 4 or 6 points tonight, but started everything on the defensive end with their tenacity and everything like that, those guys deserve credit too. So I don't think we can go wrong. Whoever we pick, completely deserving.
Yeah, Hall and Hauk both had some fantastic games. Tammy certainly thinks that Downton Hall is worthy of being the player of the game. She weighed in 2 votes, and they're just waiting for me to write down the name, who it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put that name on paper, and you guys will find out on the other side, as it appears that Centerburg is going to close out a 68-47 victory. They're going to move on to the sectional championship game. What a performance in the second half by the Berg. Take a timeout. We'll be back with our analysis and an interview with our player of the game, who you'll find out who it is right after this.
Is the third place I have delivered, and hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center, where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
When you're on the go and need a fix, both for your body and your vehicle, stop in at Webb's Marathon and Automotive, celebrating 20 years of service at 164 East Main Street in Centerburg. Family owned and operated with premium products and services. So make it Webb's and get what you need to keep your engines running. Proud sponsor of Trojans basketball.
just live sports, exclusively on the OH Report. Stick around, folks, because coming up next is your Player of the Game presented by Knox Community Hospital. Find out who it's going to be right after this. We are now joined by our Knox Community Hospital Player of the Game, Colton Martin, the sophomore, coming off the bench and doing some big things here in a 68-47 win. First, talk to me about the satisfaction of moving on, getting that tournament victory under your belt, knowing that you're going on to play for a sectional title.
Yeah, it feels good just to get this game out of the way and try to it's just game by game. We just got to take one game at a time and not look too far ahead.
You were huge off the bench tonight, particularly in the second quarter where you came out, you filled it up for 6 points. Describe your role on this team to me and what you feel like you bring.
I feel like I bring energy off the bench, but it's mostly my teammates. My teammates, they push me in practice, especially Mick. He's the one I give most of my credit to because he's always pushing me. But, yeah, it feels great. Just get the win.
This is a deep team. You utilize your bench very well. A lot of guys contribute. How much fun is it being part of an environment where pretty much everybody's a contributor?
Yeah, it's really great because all the guys, they all get in, they all give their best effort, and everybody loves everybody. We just try to push each other in practice, and the coaches, too, they push us to our best ability.
Fairly young team, too. You just got the one senior on the squad, but it's a guy who's very beloved here in the community. Of course, he's an All-Ohioan and a standout in Carter Jones. How much of this tournament run are you guys really playing for Carter, wanting it to be, a big bang for him?
Yeah, it's all for him. He just brings so much support for all of us, and we support him. And we hope that we just make a fun, far run in the tournament. And we're doing it for him. It's all for him.
Well, your next obstacle is going to be North Union. What do you guys know about them already as you head into that game?
Yeah, we watched some film on them. They're a good team, just like the team we played tonight. They're a really good team, and we just got to give our best effort like we did tonight.
And final question for you. We had a comment come through talking about Puddles and Chompy. Who are those players and how did they get those nicknames?
I have no clue how they got those nicknames at all. I've never heard those nicknames.
Okay, so maybe that person watching a different game and didn't really know who they were talking about. Do you have a nickname, Colton?
They call me Coltrane. I hate it, but...
Well, then I won't call you that. All right, Colton Martin, our player of the game tonight. 13 points off the bench, came up huge. Congratulations, man, moving on to the sectional championship.
Thank you.
And it looks like we've got Coach John Marhevka standing by. He's going to jump on the headset now and join us as he gives a nice fist bump there to Colton. And Coach, a nice performance by your squad here tonight, particularly in the second half. What switch did you guys flip to turn it around? Because you really stomped your foot on them there in the third.
Well, I don't know if you really want to know all the details of that, but
okay.
we basically talked about our standard and doing what we want to do, and we weren't playing defense in the first half the way we wanted to. And so that was one of the little bit of talks at halftime about our standard, playing our defense, and you notice we went straight man-to-man and said, this is how we're going to get done. If you're not going to answer that bell, then I'm going to the bench and rotating guys in. And fortunately, we were able to keep it up, and everybody got excited, and that's been a good thing for this team. They play together, they support each other, and they knew what was going on. I told you earlier when we were just talking, it's a lot about mindset going into a tournament and looking to the next game, people talking and trying to get yourselves up, having days off. So it's rough just to get that focus, and that's where we're trying to get those, and I think they showed the focus much better in the second half.
Yeah, if you could talk a little bit more about the depth of this team and the juice that your bench brings when they get into the game, and even when they're just sitting over on the sideline cheering on the players that are in the game, it seems like everybody gets involved, everybody's engaged, got to be a lot of fun to be a part of.
Absolutely. I think the boys have been that way since the beginning of the year. They support each other, and we try to cultivate that, and hopefully that's what a program builds. And you try to constantly, you notice our junior varsity, they're done, but they're still sitting by the bench. They come in at the halftime. They get to see before game, after halftime, and after the game. So they get to see all that and understand what it's about to be part of a program. And we talked about that at the beginning, even before we started. I said, I want everybody, we need to talk. We need to get the juice. We need to have a lot of energy, and especially in the pandemic. I mean, tournament times, usually you play in front of bigger packed gyms and everything else, and there's a buzz around here. And we have that, but we're also just limited by the the amount of people we can have in the stands. So we do it. Every team's got to bring their own juice, and it's got to be important. And even in a regular year, this time of year, it would get tough for teams to play and finish strong.
Carter Jones, another huge performance for him, and just a lone senior on the squad. Coach, if you can tell us a little bit about what he brings to the team. You told me he's a great practice player, and just a great shining beacon here in the community.
Oh, absolutely. That young man is very mature. So he brings a valued leadership that when it comes from your peers, it means a lot more than coming from your teachers, your coaches, your parents, and your mentor. But he's aware of it, his awareness that he brings, and I think he tries to share that with the younger guys. And not only does he do it by talking to them, but he exemplifies it. And so he's, someone that makes the guys want to help him have a good senior send-off and go and make a deep as run as we can for him. And I think he's earned it. He's done a lot of things. He's done things, yes, I got on him just like I got on everybody at halftime, and he answered the bell again in the second half.
Well, next up on your tournament journey, North Union. You got to go to their place, though. Quick breakdown of that one, if you will.
They're going to be similar to us and top teams in the KMAC, but they're very physical. So we know that they're going to be athletic, strong. So we're going to have to be able to handle that. And in the tournament play, second half, you saw as we were attacking the basket, we didn't worry about anything, calls, and trying to get that. We've been trying to do that for the last couple of weeks. We've seen North Union play. We're familiar with Coach Terrell and everything. So it should be a great game, provided everybody comes with the right mindset and they battle and we go into it. And that's going to be another huge step in the growth. And you just got to make sure the boys are ready. It's going to be a early afternoon game on a Saturday, which is a little different. We've had one of those early on against Mount Gilead, so we've had scheduling like that in the season. So hopefully we can get our guys' minds right, and then we can perform well on Saturday and keep it rolling.
All right, Coach. Well, we're wishing you luck, and a lot of people weighing in on Facebook and YouTube, wishing you luck as well. So congratulations on the win, and keep marching on.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, John Marefka, head coach of Centerburg. We're going to welcome Mark back onto the call here as we wrap up our coverage from the heart of Ohio. And, boy, just a total complete team performance in that second half by Centerburg. Coach said he got after him in the locker room, and it showed that they took what he said to heart. They put it all on the line, on the floor in the second half.
They did a great job of picking up the defensive intensity, and that's where it started. Their defense created offense, and that is the calling card. That is what this team is built on, and that's what it's going to take to be successful when they go on the road to North Union, because it's going to take that kind of defensive effort if they're going to advance to the district finals.
That's a team that you're pretty familiar with. Give us a quick insight on what you see from that battle, the Wildcats going toe-to-toe with the Trojans.
Well, what's great is listening to Coach talk. I feel like I'm listening to Coach Terrell from North Union talking about toughness and physicality and playing the game right, being balanced. They're almost mirror images. It's a culture that both programs have established, and that's the style of play you're going to see. For North Union, you have a group that has Preston Crabtree, 6'2" wing, All-Ohioan last year, really nice player. Personally, I'm kind of happy. He just recently announced, I think it was this week, that he's going to be going to Ohio Wesleyan to play.
Cool.
I coached down there, and love to see him going down there for Coach DeWitt. But he's going to be their guy on the perimeter. And then in the post, they have 6'7" Zach Vernon Jr. Nice player, so they've got some inside out with those two. But then some people call them role players, very similar to Centerburg, where they've got a bunch of other guys that can go off at any time. With the Davises, Fiesel, et cetera. You have guys that have played and been key contributors for a team that went undefeated in the regular season last year, district runner-up, almost, I think it was a 3-point game they lost to Johnstown. So they've been there, they've been through the battles, and I think we're going to see a classic game, North Union and Centerburg. Sectional finals. Crazy to have those two teams that good only playing in a sectional game.
No question about it. That all tips off on Saturday afternoon, but that's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight from Centerburg High School, where the Trojans, a nice big winner here over visiting Columbus International. Your final score, 68-47. I want to thank our amazing crew for bringing you tonight's contest live and free. Adam Thompson, our producer and director, Jory Hollenbeck running up top cam, Travis Berardi down on the sideline and conducting interviews. My name is Brian Skowronski for Mark Bollinger. I want to thank our sponsors as well, Knox Community Hospital and Webb's. But for now, we're out. See you on a live stream tomorrow. Matter of fact, 6 on the OH Report.